welcome back, Alpha Tribe. It's your girl Alva, back at it again with another video. Today's video is going to be a little more educational but also personal, so get ready for that. This is a safe space. It's only good vibes at the Alpha Tribe. So what I'm going to do is take all your bad vibes, turn them into good vibes, and throw them back at you because you deserve it. We all do. Today's video is going to be about emancipation in New York City. As you may or may not know, I am from New York City, East Coast now. I'm going to go over a couple of things that might be relevant to anybody watching that's below 18 years old or that is an underage minor. I'm going to talk about the process of emancipation in New York City, what I had to do to become emancipated, what your options are to become an emancipated adult in New York City, and the advantages and disadvantages of emancipation in New York City. So let's get started. What is emancipation? Well, handy dandy Google claims that emancipation ends the legal authority that a parent has over a child who is under 18. After emancipation, your parent doesn't have to take care of you or pay for things that you need. But so the source, just because I'm in college and I don't want to plagiarize, is literally courts.gov. Whoa, that was courtscalifornia.gov. So in New York, emancipation is the process of a parent giving up control over a minor child so that the child has control over his or her own legal decisions. Okay, this is mad interesting. I just found a new one. So the website that I'm on is lawny.org. That's what emancipation is. I got emancipated at 17 years old because I wanted to go to college, and my parents were giving me a really hard time. They were not trying to give me their like tax information, their social security number, etc. for me to fill out my financial aid form and essentially get like free college, community college. They were not making a lot of money. It's not like they were making too much money and didn't want to. We just didn't have a healthy relationship, and my dad was under child support from when I was a little girl, and my mom and I, like I said, just weren't really getting along. So she was like, no, because I don't want them to mess up my taxes, blah blah blah. That story is another story that I am gonna kind of get into detail today, but it's not that big of a deal. In order to be an emancipated adult in New York City, you must be either 24 years or older. If you're not 24 years or older and don't qualify for the other three things, then your parents legally have to, like, can still claim you as a dependent. That's crazy because I started working when I was 14 years old, lived alone when I was 16, got my first apartment at 17, and was just basically on my own since I was a young teenager. So I was like, why is my mom claiming me? Don't claim me. I want to claim myself. I'm an independent person. Today's 2022 is when I was 17. 25 minus 17 is 8 years ago. 22 minus 17, 16. 2014. It doesn't even feel like that, but yeah, that was about right because I was like, was I out of high school? No, it was like 2015. So this is like 2015, okay? So this is the thing, right? In New York, you have to be 18 in order to become a legal adult, but you have to be 21 in order to become overage. So you can be a minor and you can be underage and you can be an underage minor. Underage is 21 and under. A minor is 18 and under. So anything under 18 is an underage minor. I needed independence from my parents' tax information so that I could have my own tax information and apply to financial aid. Now that we have that out of the way, they told me the only way for you to become an emancipated adult is by being 24 or older, joining the military. So being a military person would emancipate you because technically you belong to the government, you belong to the country, so that makes sense. You have to be an orphan, so that way you would be either a ward of the state, which technically you're not really an adult yet until you emancipate yourself, or both of your parents or guardians are deceased. I wasn't about to kill my parents, and I wasn't really an orphan because I had my own place to live. I was working, doing my own thing. Or get married. You have to get married because then you belong to your partner. This country is a fucking trip, let me tell you, because I like the fact that I had to even go through any of those things in order to prove that I'm an independent adult is ridiculous. I literally was buying my own food, housing myself, clothing myself, working. I've been being taxed since I was 14. Like, I have tax information since I was freaking 14. Well, technically since I was 18 because of the emancipation process, but you get what I'm saying. In New York, a parent must financially support his or her child until age 21 unless the child becomes emancipated. How does a child become emancipated? A child cannot receive an emancipation order from a court in New York. Instead, during another court case, the court can decide that the child is emancipated. For example, during a child support case, the court can decide that the parent does not have to pay support because the child is emancipated. A child is emancipated if they're over the age of 16, does not live with either parent, does not receive money from either parent unless it's court-ordered child support or Social Security benefits, has a job as the main source of income, is not in foster care or under court supervision, or if a child of employable age abandons or rejects contact with the parent without good cause. Also, if a child is in the military or is married, the child is emancipated. A court proceeding may still need to be filed to prove that this happened. A child can be emancipated if he or she left the parent's home without good reason and refused to obey the reasonable rules of the parents. A child will not be emancipated in this situation or if he or she is under the age of 16. So what are the rights of an emancipated child under age 18? They get to keep their wages, live in their own home, go to school in their neighborhood, receive some public benefits, which weirdly enough, because of how much money I was getting, I didn't qualify for food stamps or anything like that. And the child can ask for child support if the parents force them to leave. Technically, I had been kicked out of my house at one point, but I wasn't gonna do all of that because the process of taking my parents to court for emancipation was already a lot. This is what gets me. Does the emancipated child under age 18 need a parent's permission for anything? They need permission to get working papers, a learner's permit, or a driver's license. So to me, that doesn't really sound emancipated because you still need parental approval for stuff. The child must get permission to get a routine health care unless it's an emergency for STDs, family planning, drug treatment, or mental health treatment. You still need an adult because like at that age your brain isn't fully developed, so they don't consider you to be an adult. They're just okay with taking your money for taxes. And the child doesn't need the parent's permission if they're pregnant. Doesn't need their permission if the child is pregnant, a parent, or married, because you would be emancipated already. Effective 2017, a child cannot be married in New York if under the age 17. That is interesting. I was 17 when I got married to be emancipated. The child will need permission from a parent and from the court to get married under the age 18. Being emancipated does not change this requirement. They need permission to get married, but in my next video, you guys are gonna see the process of marriage and divorce. So stay tuned for that because that is another interesting one. But so now that you know the rights and the pros and the cons of emancipation if you are under 18 years old, I'm gonna tell you guys what my process was. I had to literally serve my parents' court papers and tell them to go to court. Take them to the court and present myself in front of a judge. No lawyer. I think that there was a social worker, and we kind of interviewed my parents and asked them like what the case was, and I was like, look, parent A and parent B have never gotten along. I have no relationship with either of them. I don't live under either of their roofs. Nobody supplies me with anything financial, any monetary, nutrition, anything. Nobody supplies me with anything. I have my own job. Here is the paper saying that I work. Here is the proof of my living situation. I need a document stating that I am an emancipated adult so that I can apply for financial aid, because all I want to do is go to college. You would think that the state of New York would be helpful in this case and say, wow, this is a girl that's trying, this young lady is really trying to get her education and everything. They said, oh, you don't need a document because you're already over 18. No, what was it? I was not 17, I was 18. They said, because you're already 18, so you're already emancipated, good luck in life. And I was like, they were like, yeah, you have your own housing, you have your own job, you support yourself, you're an independent person, go be an independent person. And I was like, so I still need my parents to go to college? And they were like, absolutely. And I was like, bet. I never legally became emancipated in New York. They don't do that. I ended up having to file my own taxes, submit my own tax information, which kind of messed up my mom's taxes because she was still claiming me as independent. But at that time, I really didn't care. I needed to go to class. And I actually still have some tax issues from that year because I messed it up. We basically both claimed me. And yeah, that was what the experience was. It really sucked. The process was awkward. That was the moment that my parents realized I really was not fucking with them, and they had to either change their act and get it together or lose me forever. But yeah, I just thought that was really crazy. I just wanted to let you guys know that if you ever are underage and watching this and you try to get emancipated in the state of New York or the city of New York, I'm sorry. I'm glad that the laws have been changing a little bit. Obviously I'm already over, like, I'm not underage anymore, so I do my own taxes, I do my own financial aid and all that good stuff. I already am, you know, my own person, but it'd be tough out here, to be honest. So just good luck. If you need any advice, I would suggest that you check out all of the government websites, anything that's .gov in New York, and make sure that you type New York because the laws vary by state. And just check out everything that you can. I would also take advantage of the social workers that take responsibility over cases in New York. Like if you are already accepted to a community college or any school, you can ask a social worker or somebody there for some legal advice. It wouldn't actually be legal advice because only lawyers can do that, but it'll be some kind of guidance because they don't tell us these things. Like the government, I hope the government doesn't get mad at me, but I really don't give a fuck. The government in the United States is really only worried about finances and them getting their finances. The system is kind of broken. It doesn't work for everybody, especially people of color. Women of color, they are like weird. It gets very weird when it comes to things like that. I didn't really get much help. I kind of just had to struggle for all of that time. That's why I was in and out of college, but you'll see more of that in episode 4 of my trauma teen therapy sessions. So if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and check that out because you will learn a lot about me and you will learn a lot about the things I had to go through to get to where I am. And I just wanted to share this with you today. If you have any related stories or questions, please comment them below. Like, I got a couple of comments here and there, but it would be really nice if I could converse with you guys about our similar experiences or these really, really weird experiences. My best advice would be definitely go through the court if you're underage. Definitely have your backs covered. Make sure that you do have money saved up. Make sure you're learning on your own, whatever people don't want to teach you. Ask older people questions and just take it easy, because one day you will become 21 years old and you will become 24 years old or 26 now, and it's gonna get a little bit easier. It got a little bit easier for me. And actually, I just had to file my financial aid again, and it was so easy because I'm an independent adult. God bless. God bless. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.